So to get started with the application process, you'll start on our home page and go up here to the Applications tab. And you could just take a look through. There's all kinds of different application types. You really just need to pick the one that is most applicable to your exposure type. And if you're not sure, you can give our office a call and we can make sure we get you pointed to the correct one. But just to get started here, we'll take a look at the Road Bike Club application. Once you click into the Road Bike Club application, it will take you to this overview page that just gives you a general overview of what supporting documentation we need with your application, payment options, rough turnaround time, and then just a disclaimer that coverage is not automatically bound. Once you submit that application on our website, it does go to our underwriting review. And if we have any questions or need more information, we'll reach out to you. Any information about what your club's activities are, what you do on an ongoing basis, if you have a meetup or Facebook page, wherever you have that information. Information about any certificate requests that you might need. So if your club has a picnic at a local park, or you regularly start your rides at a different location and they need to see proof of your insurance or be additional insured, you'll want to have that information handy. A sample copy of the liability waiver that you'll have all members sign. And then if you've not been with our agency previous, we would need a 5-year loss run report from your previous insurer or a signed statement of no loss from you, just indicating if you've had any liability losses in the previous 5 years. And then payment options through our online portal include credit or debit card or PayPal account, or you are welcome to print your application off and mail that in to us with a check. So once you're ready to get started, you'll click continue and it will actually take you into the application itself. And from here, you'll start with the policyholder name, and if you have a DBA, select the appropriate form of business for your group, and then the mailing address. Continue on entering in your contact information, including the best name that we should reach out to if we have any questions about your application, the best contact phone number, and the best email address for that contact. It is good to include the best valid email address of who we should reach out to if we have any questions about completing the application, and this is also where your certificates of insurance will be emailed to once coverage is bound. We will often see where the person filling out the application, who is actually supposed to be the contact for this, they don't want to be contacted for whatever reason, and they will put, the treasurer's name, and so that doesn't work out very well. The next part of the application is underwriting information. You'll check if it's a new venture, if you've previously been insured by McKay Group, if you've been insured previously elsewhere. You'll indicate if your organization has had any liability losses in the last 5 years. If you indicate yes, it will ask you for more information about that. There's a disclaimer here about a trail maintenance and construction exclusion within the policy. And then for rating, the policy is rated based on the number of club members for a road bike club. So for this, we'll do 100 members. And it's subject to a minimum premium. So once you type in your number of members, it will auto-calculate your premium based on what you've put into there. And then there are many different optional coverages that we offer, higher limits if they're needed, hired and non-owned auto liability coverage, sexual abuse liability, where you can extend liability coverage to owned detached trailers. So you can elect any of those if needed. There is additional information about each of those optional coverages in the FAQ linked at the top of the application. And then if expedited processing is needed, you can just select expedite fee. Our general processing time is about 2 to 4 business days from the date that we receive your application. But if expedited processing is needed, you can pay an additional fee to have that done. Under the underwriting section, there is a question that asks if your organization currently utilizes a waiver system to have waivers signed by all members and any non-members who participate in a club activity. That is required. So you will have to indicate yes or no to that, but again, it is required. So we require a sample copy of the waiver that you use. If you don't have one, we do have generic sample copies that we can provide to you, but ultimately any waiver that you use would need to be drafted or reviewed by an attorney in your state. If you have any questions about any of the optional coverages, even after you review the FAQ, you're welcome to give us a call and we can go through each of those to see, what's appropriate for your group's needs. Once you've got everything completed there, you can click Continue, which will take you to the certificate request form. For cycling clubs, you may not have any certificate request needs at the time of application. Those might come throughout the year, which you can request later on for an additional fee. We have an FAQ linked here about certificates of insurance and additional insureds that you can visit. If you are aware of any certificates that you need while you're working through this application, we need the complete name, address, and what type of entity or what relationship they have to your organization. Why are you requesting that certificate for them? Indicate if they do require additional insured status or not. If they do require additional insured status, is it required by written agreement, permit, or contract? And then there are additional questions about if a waiver of subrogation is required or if primary and non-contributory status is required. If you aren't sure what those means, they're probably not required. If you don't have a written agreement or permit with that entity you're requesting a certificate for, those are not applicable. You can just indicate no. If you're not sure, you can give us a call and we can help you through that. So once you've entered in any certificate request information that you need, or if you don't need any, you can just leave that blank, click Continue, and that will take you to your actual quote for this coverage. You can see a summary of the coverage provided. If you click here to the summary of coverage, that will pop up a PDF that gives you an overview of the coverage that's provided through this program. There is also an FAQ and helpful information that you can click into that goes through what is general liability, what is accident insurance, and many other different types of coverages and questions we commonly get. This quote page will give you an overview of everything that you have entered into the form previous. So you'll want to take a look at this and make sure everything looks accurate. Contact information is accurate, that the legal name of your organization is accurate. If you need to change anything, you do have the opportunity to go back. Before you proceed, you'll want to do a scroll through here of the acknowledgments and disclosures. And once you have reviewed those, you will need to click yes that you have read the application acknowledgments and disclosures and agree to all terms. We recommend that you print a copy of this quote and keep it for your files. Your application does serve as your invoice for payment if you're mailing a check into our office, and then you can continue on. You have the opportunity on this upload page to include any of the supporting documents that we have requested. Again, that includes a sample copy of the liability waiver that you have all members sign, as well as any non-members that might participate in a club ride, information about your club's activities. If you have any special insurance requirements for any certificate requests that you included previously, you can upload those here. If you do have any trouble getting them to upload, you are welcome to just email them in to the email address listed at the bottom of this website, which is sports@mckayinsagency.com. Once you have those, so you will choose your file. It will allow you to pick any files from your computer. You can upload and they will show in this little field here. Once you have done that, you will continue on, and that will take you to your final application summary and invoice. Again, you can access the summary of coverages here, the FAQ, and If you did not capture a copy of the quote previously, you have the opportunity to do that here with a printer-friendly version of that. Keep a copy of that for your file. Again, that serves as your invoice for payment. Once you have gotten to this point, your application does submit to our system. If you want to proceed with purchasing this coverage, you will continue to purchase. That will give you the opportunity to make payment with a credit or debit card or PayPal account online. Or if you plan to mail a check in, you can just close out here and then mail that to our office at the P.O. Box listed down below here on the website. P.O. Box 151, Knoxville, Iowa 50138. You can click Pay here with a debit or credit card, and that will allow you to enter in your payment information. All credit or debit card payments are processed through PayPal. You should also get a copy of the receipt for that payment once you have done that. Once you submit your completed application, payment, and supporting documents, those come into our online queue. Generally within about 8 business hours, those will get taken into our system and you'll get contacted by one of our sports department staff members, just letting you know that we received your application. If we need any additional information that they see offhand, they will contact you and ask you for that. But at that point, your application is sent on to our underwriting department for review, and our general processing and review time is about 2 to 4 business days, just depending on the volume of things that we have coming in at any one time.